Hey everyone, Bill Constane, CEO, Freedom Wealth Services, and welcome to Freedom Wealth TV. For all of the new folks coming on to the channel, welcome, and all of our repeat subscribers, come on. Make sure to like, positive comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get all the future updates. We're going to be talking about the 2019 results for Freedom Wealth Services. This is actually an average client that we had. We had the posting for the year. This is a 2020 Index Universal Life Policy. People want to know how we did last year. So I just crossed out the name and the policy number. I'm going to go through it. Every client of the firm gets these great reviews. And the issue with the financial and the life insurance industry is very easy to buy things, but people usually don't get serviced. I've seen that firsthand. I'm going to show you an example of the review. What we do is help people create a tax-free income for life. We start off by seeing where the shortfalls might be in their retirement plan and how to close that gap, give some suggestions. One of the solutions is making sure that they have the right amount of life insurance. And what we do is we minimize the death benefit, maximize the cash value, and we create a maximum efficient contract. Okay, we're going to go more into that, but here we go, 2020, Freedom Wealth Services. There's a website there, Safe Money Legacy. I'll put a link in the description. Here's an example again of a annual report that we generate. Introduction, policy summary last 365 days, overall policy performance review, and we have an illustration and then we have an actual result. Needs reassessment checklist, additional services, then an allocation review, and acknowledgement of receipt. So introduction, helping protect your family, your assets, and your future. Is it possible to make over 20% in a life insurance policy? We're going to find out here. The anniversary date of your index universal life policy each year provides us with the perfect opportunity to sit down together. So you can see that the story of a 5-floor apartment complex. So our mission today is to accomplish 3 objectives: review your policy, make sure everything is in line with the original plan, discuss any changes that might have occurred over the last year that may have changed any of these plans, and determine if there are any additional services that may be of assistance to you or your family or your friends. And there I am, Bill Constane. If you owned a new apartment complex and were only able to rent out the first floor, you would pay the mortgage on the entire building, but only receive rent from the fifth of the building, only 1/5. This is similar to the IUL, as it takes time to build up the policy and the accumulation value. And that's very important. This is not a short-term savings program or a short-term investment. After a number of years, you can now rent out all 5 floors, or you paid your policy in full. That's when you begin to accumulate the most amount of wealth, and that's when it looks incredible in the midterm and long term. But how does it look in the first year? Look at this. We crossed out the client, effective date January 2, 2019. They started. This is an Allianz policy. We crossed out the policy number. This is a client that put in $24,000 a year or $2,000 a month. And yes, 21.5%. Look at that. Incredible. So death benefit 682,976. You might wonder why it is to the dollar, because we minimize. We get the least amount of life insurance. We can maximize the cash value. If this death benefit was any lower with the amount of money that was put into this policy, with the age of the client, the health, then this would be considered a modified endowment contract by the IRS. They were basically saying this is a straight investment and it would be taxed just like a pension, 401k, IRA, SEP IRA, any of those. But because we do have a minimum amount of life insurance, it falls into the tax-free column. We can take dollars out by withdrawal or by loans from the company, the life insurance company, on a tax-free basis. So there you have it. We structure it maximum efficient. We don't want modified endowment contract. We want maximum efficient. There's your 21.25% for 2019. Yes, it not only was possible, but it actually was accomplished. Here's the details. This year's actual versus illustrated comparison. 24,000 a year. We illustrated 7%. The accumulation value in year one should have only been 20,641. Remember, some of these dollars are you're paying for this benefit. And the modern policies also have accelerated benefits for the purpose of disability, long-term care, terminal illness. This becomes a policy you could use for many things. Hopefully, you'll just live a long, healthy life, and we can create some tax-free retirement pension money for you for the rest of your life. So there you have it. The actual actually outpaced the illustrated. Instead of 7, 21 and a quarter. The first year, the surrender value, there's actual money that you actually can take out, 4503 versus 2772. And as the years go by, you'll see more and more cash come into this policy. Policy does have guarantees that you cannot lose money. Even when the market goes down, the worst you can do is zero. Overall policy performance. The above graph displays the overall policy accumulation values throughout the years, actual versus illustrated. Actual index returns versus the S&P. The S&P actually did a little bit better than our performance, but keep in mind, ours is balanced with guarantees. So when the S&P goes down, which it might go down this year or next year, and you see a negative 10, a negative 20, our policy will be a minimum of 0%, not a negative 10, negative 20. We'll show that in another video to show how this policy, for the most part, outperforms the S&P, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ over longer periods of time because of the 0% guarantee and the upside of the marketplace. So there you go. There's the 21.25% versus the 7. We can go through a needs reassessment checklist. And if you don't have this type of policy, you'd like to learn more how to create a tax-free pension, make sure that you have the right amount of insurance for you and your family, that you're protected, mortgage protection, make sure that you have income protection, right? Because when people do their reviews, they do it under a perfect scenario that they're going to live a long, healthy life. But what happens if you, God forbid, you passed away early and you're the breadwinner for your family? How's your wife? How's your kids? How are they going to continue? What about a disability? What about in your later years, a long-term care need? We don't plan for those things, right? Well, we do. We stress test your retirement plan, make sure that you'll win under any scenario. So, has your family status changed? Right? We want to remember the original purpose of the policy. Have any of those purposes changed at all? Do you need to change the beneficiaries? Right? When was the last time, if you do have a policy, that it was updated, made sure that everything is exactly right? We can do an update. We can compare it to the modern policies that are out there. I'm going to put a link in the description. We can do a free analysis, make sure your policy is being run properly and that it actually won't lapse. Lots of people's policies, they look good when they buy it, but if it's not managed properly, it could be in jeopardy of lapsing, or you'll have to put additional money in. You want to make sure you're working with a professional that knows how to manage the policy properly. Have there been any major changes to you or your family's health? Have you had, or do you expect any major changes to your expenses? Are your children interested in attending a college, university? Did you buy a home or business? Are you looking to make any major capital purchases? Has there been any major income changes, or has there been any inheritance? Has there been any windfall, extra dollars? Maybe you don't know where to put that money. Maybe you've maxed out your 401k. Maybe you have questions on your 401k. Should you be putting all your money there, or the stock market? Where do you think taxes are going to be when you take out the money in the future? Will they be the same? Will they be less? Will they be more? Those are very, very important questions. Is there anything you don't understand about your policy? So additional services, we've been able to grow substantially through the power of referrals. Can you think of any friends or family that would benefit from the service? There's my contact information. The best compliment you could ever give us, number one, is your own business, to trust us. And secondly, would be to refer people that you care about. Tax-free retirement, lifetime income, Social Security maximization. We can create these reports, life insurance review. I'm going to put a link in the description there. There's an example of the allocation. This particular policy, not only did it have these interest rates, but then we had a 15% multiplier on top of that, and that's what brought us to the 21.25%. There was no additional fee for that multiplier. As you can see, PIMCO Tactical Balanced blended index. So we actually had a very, very balanced portfolio of indexes to make sure that we had a stable return. We're not looking to, hit it out of the ballpark and then get crushed. But what's nice here is knowing that we have a floor of 0 and we're just looking to participate in these indexes. We're showing typically 6 to 7%. And when you get a 21.25%, oh, everyone's celebrating. So it's great. Acknowledgement of receipt. There's the signatures, and that's the report. So my question to you is, do you have a policy like that? Now you might say, Bill, I made 25, I made 30%. Was it tax-free? Did you have death benefits? Did you have disability, long-term care benefits, terminal illness? Do you have lock-in provisions? There's more than just being in the market. Did you get taxed this year? Was it deferred? Does it come out tax-free? If you want to learn more on how you can get a policy like this and to see if this would actually apply to your life and if you can qualify for it, certainly reach out to me. Give us a like, give us a comment if you have a policy like this already, if you have something that you'd like to get reviewed, or if you'd like to actually do a whole analysis. You can put a comment in there, or you can email me directly confidentially. So anyway, so that has been our 2019 review. We have the 2020 vision here on the report because we're starting the 2020. We're just looking forward to a fantastic year. And that's it, my friends. Happy Friday. Again, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's make this year an amazing year. God bless you and your family, and we'll talk to you soon on the next episode. Bye for now.